7. Yeah. 8. $15. 16. 23. 24.
Yeah, Ronnie was a
31.
bit unlucky. I thought he might have been able to screw off that red and get up behind the green. Maybe he couldn't, and that's why he took that risky one on.
32.
It's proving quite costly. Marks dropped to provisional number 9 in the world. He started the season at world number 4. And the way he plays, he's definitely a top
38.
4 player. But certainly the way he's defending his title here, he should be in the top 4, you would have to say.
39.
Just had a shaky start to the season, but he's in full flow now.
Well, he didn't get the best of contacts there. I'm not certain that's what he played, but it's okay. He's developed
46.
the red to the right middle.
Yeah, I think without the kick he would have cannoned the middle of the 3 reds there. As you said, John, it didn't affect his position. He still has this one.
$47.
And if these 2 reds are available along the cushion, he's okay. And they are.
Oh, has he gone a little bit awkward on this top red?
54.
He was playing from the red furthest away, and he's got to do a little bit of work with the cue ball here. This isn't that straightforward. $31 points to lead, so 2 reds, 2 colours still needed.
That was a little bit careless, wasn't it, to leave himself awkward on this red. He had quite a margin for error to leave himself with a nice angle.
$55.
He was expecting a bit too much with that. He was almost straight and tried to force the angle. So that one little careless positional shot, I thought he was going to screw it back, the same type of shot, and could have got a little bit better on the black there, John.
No, maybe it was that straight. He was screwing back towards the opposite corner pocket. But it was a terrific chance, and unless he plays a risky black, but as I say, after the colour, he still needs another red in the colour. So the frame-winning chance, it appears, has gone for the time being.
Obviously, those two
Selby,
reds are not a
55.
plant for the left corner. Otherwise, Mark wouldn't have played off the pink like that. But that was a very nice 55 break. But a lot of snooker left in this frame.
This is a tough shot. One of the toughest in the game, this. Well, once he missed the blue, it was okay, but there was always a danger of the pink or the blue being a blocker. Well played. I mean, the last thing, in an ideal world, Mark Selby would love to keep these reds as they are, but he's going to bring them into play, so he needs a good safety here.
I think he's going to try and keep two of them safe, John.
Yeah, I'll be pleased with that. The red he played, he's knocked to the baulk cushion.
Couple of reds up the other end of the table now, and there was just one little shot there that this was the shot he played and left himself awkward on the red. It was just a little lapse in concentration. Okay, just showing you there, if he pulled up a little bit short, he would have had the perfect angle. That's the only problem Ronnie's had with this new cue, John. I've watched the whole of the match. There's certain shots where he has to play with side, with it being a new cue. That takes a little bit of getting used to, and you play with side and it's totally different to your normal cue.
Couldn't agree with you more. That's the only thing to me. And with the long shots, of course, he's turned quite a few down. But of course, when you're in the position he was in there, he had to play it with side to straighten up the cue ball. And he's caught the red too thick and left it on.
I mean, he has played unbelievably well, considering he'd only played for a few hours with it before the Masters started.
One.
No prizes for guessing where the cue ball's going to finish up here.
Mark Selby, 1.
Just got a hit and hope here. Didn't get close to it.
Foul. And a miss. Mark Selby, 5.
It's a bit like a trick shot he's trying, John, and the balls tend to bounce around on these thin cloths.
Yeah, and it's one of those situations, I mean, as you say, he was nowhere near, but he needs to hit it pretty quick because it's a tough snooker. I did think there was a possibility of coming off this top cushion straight up and down and trying to hit the red. will have settled for that.
Well, that was quite amazing. That was one of those where you've just got to hit and hope for the best, and well, he couldn't have got much better than the outcome. That was quite amazing. You just haven't got a clue what's going to happen here. Just to play that shot, playing ball from this end of the table would have been tough, even if you could see it.
Yeah, I know what you mean, hitting the red direct. Now, I don't know whether he can get past the blue here to play this red that's in the middle of the baulk cushion. There you see it, 38 ahead, 43 remaining. He's still got a little bit of insurance, of course. The red on the baulk cushion, the red near the brown won't pot. So Mark Selby still favourite for this frame, but it can easily turn the other way.
Well, he's looking at this one past the blue. I don't think he can get through to that. He's gone round to have a look at the other end, but we can probably show you from this side he can't really get through to that. He's going to have to play the other one and possibly hit cushion first. But there again, he can't leave the white tight on that baulk cushion, or he'll leave the one potable along the cushion into the left corner. So he's playing this one, but he's having to swerve it around the blue. He may have fluked the snooker. Yellow covering one red, blue only partially covering this one.
Well, trying to kick this red up the table coming off the baulk cushion first. Got to be careful you don't knock the brown in.
Foul. And a miss.
Well, I didn't expect it to go that way because he didn't hit the red.
Mark Selby 4.
That was a total misjudgment. He didn't even get near the red, and that was a strange one. The idea was right if he had have executed the shot correctly.
Well, there you see, 42 ahead. I'm just wondering about the referee's decision there. Why didn't he call miss? He didn't hit the red.
It's a good point, John. A very good point.
I know he knocked the brown in, but the red was the ball on. Miss should have been called there. And Mark Selby's not happy with this situation. He'd have certainly had the balls put back, or had a choice.
See, Mark, he can't relax here because he needs a colour near a cushion. I wonder if Mark's just thinking about that. It was a straightforward. Mind, he could hit the other red, John, so maybe the referee was correct.
What? There was a red on and he didn't hit either of them. It's a miss. I mean, I thought for a moment maybe he just caught the red and then knocked the brown in, but the red never moved.
Well, we'll have to have a word with Jan about that afterwards, but yeah, I'm with you, yeah. Well, maybe the referee did call a miss, but I think the boys in the studio heard it. I didn't hear it in the commentary box.
Oh, well, if you did, Jan, I apologise. I never heard it. had it confirmed that Jan Verhaas did call the miss. Well, it took a long time for Mark to decide, but in the end he's not put Ronnie in any trouble here. Well, that might be quite nice for Ronnie. That's not bad at all. I suggest that Ronnie O'Sullivan, although a slim chance, is back in this frame. He's 42 points behind. There's 43 left on the table. The colours aren't badly situated, and he may get a chance here. This isn't a straightforward safety.
I don't know if he can get past the red to just nestle in behind the one near the cushion. If he's got the angle to do that, that's probably the only way he's going to escape from this situation. I mean, that is a possibility. I can't see any other escape for him. Is it hard enough?
Foul. And a miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan 4.
And that's a vital 4 points in Ronnie's favour, because now, I mean, before when he was 42 points behind, 43 left on the table, with the 2 reds he had to get blacks. He doesn't anymore.
Better speed this time.
Easy to snooker Mark on the red next to the blue. He needs to get the one he's hitting safe, and he's not got the snooker on that one. He'd be disappointed.
Jan Verhaas, one of the most experienced referees on the circuit, makes very few mistakes, and as John mentioned, he did call the miss, so we would have been surprised. And that Ken Doherty in the studio has got some very good hearing, John, to hear that all the way down in the studio.
Wow, is it one of these where you play a little drag shot and try and get a snooker behind the blue, but you need to get it? That's what he's played. Well, he played it hard enough that he was going to knock the red safe. Didn't fully commit to the snooker behind the blue. But if he'd have played it any slower and not got the snooker, of course, he'd have left the red on. And Mark Selby only needs the red.
He's got a straightforward escape down the table, but he's got to be careful he doesn't push a red on here. And he's made a complete mess of it.
Well, that's remarkable, isn't it? I think he may have had a little bit of a result if Ronnie's hampered by the blue.
What about the left hand, though? This is incredible how useful the left hand is in this situation.
Still hampered, though. But boy, didn't he cue that well. If he's straight, well, he's got a nice angle on the blue.
It would be nice to get the black back on its spot, because the red's difficult, but at least to get from red to the black, if it was on a spot, would be much easier.
Couldn't agree with you more, Dennis, but can he get perfect on the red off this black? Can he get perfect on the red? Well, it's a tough red, this. It's a tough red, but what a frame this could be to win.
9.
Every chance now.
For a moment there, I thought he'd missed the red. It hit the cushion first, but it still went in.
16.
What a turnaround this could be.
I always say, Dennis, that the key
18.
to any clearance, even when the balls are on the spots, is brown to blue. It's so important on this occasion because he needs a good angle on the blue to get onto the pink that isn't on its spot and slightly awkward.
21.
And the angle that he will leave on the pink is crucial because it's not a straightforward pot in the middle. It would be okay just to roll it in, but he's got to get on the black. So this now is the key shot. Got to be absolutely spot on.
A little bit straighter on the blue would have been better. He's going to have to, I think, come off the top cushion. So, as you say, crucial he gets a good angle on the pink. So Mark Selby now looking at the table thinking there's maybe a little bit of hope. I think when he played that poor safety and Ronnie potted the last red, he thought he'd blown this frame.
$30.
Not one of Ronnie's bests.
Well, to get nicely on the black, he'd have to take it up into the corner. And it's the corner he's going for.
36.
What a shot!
And what a frame to win. And he's won it. Well, Mark Selby will be kicking himself. What a chance he threw away there. Rocket Ronnie O'Sullivan flying to the changing room. He's delighted.
We're use it, but it's nice to see that bit of expression.
Here we go. Fasten your safety belt.
Indeed, Ray, fasten your safety belt. I like that. Mark Selby's got a superb temperament, and I'm sure he will put that last frame out of his mind. The boys in the studio were talking about this pink, and you can't hit them any better than that. And look at the position. And wasn't he happy? Just watch this. Go on, my son. It is amazing, John, how many times at the Masters we've had a close finish. There's always something happens here.
Well, of course, we get the two players coming to the final. You expect them to be at the top of the game, and in the longer matches you expect the luck to even out, so both players get their fair share of it.
And we did have a re-spotted black in the final frame here with Mark Williams and Stephen Hendry. That's the only time I can remember that in a major final.
Yes, it was a thriller that night, and this has got the makings of being a thriller. Terrific long pot, found the gap. Is he going to land on the brown or the yellow or even the green? He's on one of them.
He'd like to be on the brown, but can he pass the green? He can.
Five. Six.
I love snooker. I wonder, is he a Ronnie fan? Never know, might be seeing that young boy playing in the Masters one year. I'm sure he's a
13.
keen player as well as a keen follower of the game.
Well, if he loves snooker, he'll be loving this match. That's for sure. But it's not all been about big breaks. We've seen some tremendous breaks from Mark Selby, but it's the close frames that have been so exciting. And not
14.
until the last ball was dropped have you had any idea who was going to win it. And I've always said that about snooker, Dennis. Well, we've always said, haven't we, that if a frame isn't won by a big break, then you're
21.
always, it's going to unfold and have a little story of its own, and the drama just builds.
22.
A couple of loose reds. Just depends how he sees this. I mean, Ronnie normally would go into the cluster, try to bring lots of reds into play. He's got a perfect angle.
Into the gap would be good.
$29.
Yes, and he found that gap. Just about get through to this. Now is he on the blue? He's perfect
13.
on the blue.
Started out the best of 19. We're now down to the best of 5 frames. Will it be the 3 times champion or last year's champion that lifts the beautiful trophy at the end of this final?
36.
That's that trophy I mentioned. Beautiful Waterford crystal. Look well on the bonnet of your car, that, John.
I can't help ever look at that trophy without reminding myself of Paul Hunter.
Yeah, he won it 3
37.
times, didn't he? Absolutely incredible achievement that was from Paul, who is very, very sadly missed still in the game of snooker.
And I think, Dennis, I might be wrong, but I think he was the last person to defend this
42.
title.
43.
Which, of course, Mark Selby's attempting to do this evening. He'll be faring the worst this frame. Ronnie's in perfect position.
$50. $51.
These two stars
58.
had a fantastic battle in the final of the Welsh Open. Mark Selby winning on the deciding frame, 9-8, after Ronnie led 8-5.
Just gone awkward here. It's not a straightforward run through for the black, and if he played it, he'd have to play with quite a bit of right hand side on the cue ball. He'd like to stun back up the table for the blue, but the red that's next to the one he's potting might just get in the way. Got to be careful here.
That's what he'd like to play, but he can get close to canting the red. That's what's putting him off. He just needs to stun in round the back of that red to get over for the blue. And he's frightened that he just catches the red, but he's so good with his left hand.
59.
Okay, he's got the green, and he doesn't have to do a lot with the cue ball because of the situation of that red near the right middle.
$62. 63.
This blue to go 68 points in front with 67 remaining.
Well, winning that
68.
last frame really has spurred Ronnie O'Sullivan on. The frame is safe. If he gets the cannon on the reds, a possible century on.
Will that do, Dennis?
He only left himself on all 4 reds with that split.
$82.
He has made 558 centuries in his career. He's the closest to Stephen Hendry's record, who's just over 700.
90.
This will be his 8th of this year's Masters.
91.
And I think it's the 31st, which has beaten the record of 26 centuries 2 seasons ago.
98.
He's already broken Stephen Hendry's record of centuries at the Masters.
99.
Fantastic. $107.
Nice to see him play a little exhibition shot there off the last colour.
110.
Now, how are you going to get on the blue, Ron?
He's not going to get on the blue, but he's not really bothered about that. That was a magnificent century break from Rocket Ronnie O'Sullivan, and he puts himself in the lead. 8-7, 2 away from victory.
Go out. When they go out, they get a great reception when they come back in, and then the tension starts to build as we get towards the break off for the next round.
Yeah, I think it was a good idea for Mark Selby to get out there a little bit, just to compose himself, gather his thoughts again. As I say, he's done it early in the match when he was behind, and he's come back again. Another big effort required.
Right, let's see.
Thank you. Frame 16. Mark Selby to break. Okay, quiet now, please.
How quickly a match can turn. It doesn't seem that long ago where Mark Selby looked good for 8-6, and now he finds himself 8-7 behind. Just a half-hearted attempt at the plan. The main objective was achieved. Get that cue ball near the ball cushion. And as you say, it wasn't a plant. But once Ronnie O'Sullivan has come to the table and made a century break like he did in the last frame, it really puts the frighteners into his opponent. Mark's got to be careful here, he doesn't let him in again. And that will help. Terrific pot, needs a good kiss on the green. Didn't get it.
Yeah, that was very unlucky there. That was a superb long pot, and he deserved a better cannon there when he came all the way up the table. Okay, he's got second prize, but easy to escape from. Unlucky not to finish on green or brown there.
Yeah, just come off the left-hand cushion. Maybe a trace of left-hand side. Just got to be careful. There is a red that's in the open. Doesn't want to leave that. And he's at the pink, so that's a little bit careless.
Mark Selby 6.
And a little bit pacey for me, but
There's Vicky still in the audience, Mark Selby's girlfriend. Yes, nail biting time for Vicky, but you know there's a lot left in Mark yet. He really is a fighter.
Got it right second time. There didn't look to be much danger. Touching ball makes it an easy return to the ball, Ken. I mean, he'd love to get behind that green and brown again, but I don't think he's got the angle to play that. So trying to get near the ball cushion behind the green and brown, but not made the best job of that. Ronnie missed an opportunity there. He just hit that red too thin. He would once again, that's the target that both players will be looking for, to get that cue ball behind green and brown.
Sometimes it's more nerve-wracking watching, and there's Ronnie's mum there. That's Jack on the left and George on the right, and Maria with her arms around them. They're family friends, and they must be very excited at the moment. Not too excited seeing Ronnie miss that red by such a margin. But I think he's got away with it somewhat there.
Well, I think he played it in such a way, in fairness, that the only red he could leave was the one he was playing. But as we've said about some of his safety shots from long distance, his long potting, he's still got to improve that with this cue. But it's a bit of a frightening thought for everybody if there's still some improvement left. And there's young Jamie. EastEnders. They've been bashing the balls round on the pool table, them lads.
One.
Superb long pot from Mark Selby. Terrific cueing. He loves the big stage, doesn't he, Mark Selby? He says that he enjoys nothing better than being out playing in front of a crowd like this. Of course, this is the biggest crowd we have in snooker.
6.
Yes, and they're certainly getting their money's worth today. It was a little bit risky what Mark played there, but it couldn't have worked out better. This is a great chance now. Didn't have much of a one in the last frame. We've kicked himself for not winning the frame before. But that's in the past, and if he can make a frame-winning contribution here, he'll only look forward.
14.
But the pressure's on.
15.
Played for his choice of reds there, so he was highly unlikely to run out of position. The one into the right corner, he may have to play for the blue if he elects that. And that's his choice.
$23.
And if he leaves himself straight on this red that's near the left corner pocket, he's got very little to do to stay on the black. That's what he's lining up. If he finishes dead straight, he'll pot the red and leave the white near enough where the red is at the moment. So he's coming around to have another look just to make sure that he
well, as you say, he's straight, but that red near the corner, I think basically what he's looking at is to see how he can cue without the brown hindering him. But he's had a good look, so he should be okay. Anything that stops you getting right down on the shot can affect the result of it.
28.
Now, has he finished straight? He has. Just leave the white there or just bring it back an inch or two.
29.
Don't bring it back too far though. Has he blocked it slightly? Well, that's a slight misjudgment. He's going to have to make this with a little touch aside, you would feel.
Yeah, I think he can just get through to it though. As you say, he may need a trace aside, which does make the black missable, but I think he can just get past the red here.
He had one earlier in the tournament, you know, where he thought he could pot the black and he got down and or he was trying to pot a red, go down and hit the black. It wouldn't go. And that's a bad mistake if he's overscrewed that, because if he had left the white where the red was that he potted, there wouldn't have been a problem. You see, he doesn't have to do a lot with the cue ball because the red that's on the cushion would be available. So if he bends it slightly, he'll still have a pot and a red. Well, we'll tell where he's cueing at the cue ball if he's bending it. Yeah, he's putting it trace aside. You've got the perfect picture there. Didn't he play it well?
$36. $37.
Yes, didn't risk the red along the top cushion. That was missable, and he's got a nice angle on this green now, just to stun down the right hand side of the table for a choice of reds in the left corner.
I'm going to put a couple of circles up this time, anywhere near the two circles, and he'd be perfect. Has he got the angle on the green to get up there? That's okay, as long as it doesn't run too far. Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
40. $41.
Well, Ronnie O'Sullivan in the previous frame put Mark Selby under a lot of pressure with that break of 110.
48.
Look how Mark Selby has responded. He's come up a little bit short here. He's going to have to just nudge the reds and hopefully leave pink or blue.
$49.
And now that's gone in, and he's on the pink. You wouldn't expect him to make a mistake, and this is a tremendous response. The disappointment of frame 14 when he should have gone 8-6 in front, but Ronnie was able to level at 7-all. Did nothing wrong in the last frame, didn't get a chance. He's had a chance this one and taken it well. So just the
55.
red and the blue needed.
$56.
68 points the
61.
lead, 67 remaining, and this easy red to come.
62.
He won't be too bothered about
69.
just running out of position. He's done more than enough to draw level again.
Well, he played the cross double, it won't match. I
69
don't think
and a
Ronnie
frame.
will bother coming back to the
Mark
table. He
Selby.
doesn't. Well, fair play, Mark Selby. What a competitor. We level again. 8-all.
And really, John, I mean, the opening pot that he knocked in, as I say, Ronnie put him under pressure, making 110 in the previous frame. It didn't look as if it was a straightforward pot. The yellow was just a little bit in his way there, but Hawk, I'll show you what he was faced with. We'll spin it around. Now that, you've got to cue them absolutely perfect. You've got to push that cue through in a straight line. He's going to hit the white at 6 o'clock as we look at it. Use the white as a clock face. Cues right down into it. Can't hit them any better than that, John.
No, it was a terrific shot. Ronnie had played what he thought was a shot for nothing, or the only red he could leave was the one he was playing, and I think he probably thought that was too difficult for Mark to handle, but handle it he did. Knocked it in, got nicely on the blue, frame over.
Thank you. Frame 17. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break. That's enough. Thank you.
Late night drama at the Wembley Arena. It's 11:15. We are now down to the best of 3. We started out the best of 19. Is it going to be 4 times for Ronnie O'Sullivan, or is this man going to defend his title? Fabulous match. He's left one out this time, and we know how good Mark Selby is at this type of shot, and there is a gap round the back of the black. He knocks a very high percentage of this type of pot in. That's what he's looking at, and he can just swing it over around the back of the black and reds. Absolutely perfect. Not only the pot, but the cue ball exactly where he wanted it.
As you say, Dennis, nice angle on the blue. It's just those 3 reds near the black. I'm not certain about their availability. He's playing for the red to the right of the pink. You would think, well, they'll have to go back up
6.
for the blue. As I say, it's these 3 reds that are just surrounding the black at the moment. I don't know if any of them pot. Until he gets the black into play, the pink's tied up. It's going to be hard work making a sizable contribution.
Yeah, they look to be covering each other. We'll find out now. He's coming round to have a look. Don't know if the middle red is available or not. There's one available to the right corner pocket, but Well, there wasn't a red available. That's why he went into the pink.
12.
And the good thing about that split, he just about nudged the black into a potable position. So it's something to work on a little bit later. Back up for the blue.
13.
A little bit careless to have come straight. Well, it's a tremendous atmosphere here. And when people talk about it, and I think people keep referring about darts and how popular that's got, you know, I think the one thing I have with the darts is that I don't feel they get enough respect for the players, you know. I mean, snooker's got its own unique atmosphere. Sit there quiet, sometimes frightened to breathe.
I think they're doing the BBC darts. They tend to keep quiet while the player's on the shot.
That was the problem.
19.
If he'd have had a good angle on the blue, he could have got closer to that red, and then he could have got nicely on the next colour. You expect him to pop the blue, but he's a little bit to do with the cue ball. Right in the heart of the pocket. Now it may be a possibility off this red to the right corner who'll play for the black
24.
in the same pocket. Well, deciding once again to go back up for the blue. Now what sort of an angle can he find this time?
25.
A good one.
$30.
You always hear the boys in the studio and us in the commentary box talking about Mark Selby's temperament. Isn't that proving the case here? Playing Ronnie O'Sullivan on his home soil, and the crowd certainly appreciating what he's doing here also. They're a very fair crowd here at the Wembley Arena. The great Ray Reardon used to say, if you produce the goods on the table, the crowd will get behind you.
$37.
Once again back up for the blue, and for the second time, perfect.
$42.
Still not perfectly placed. He's going to have to swing this and avoid canning into a red. Try and get around on the blue again. I think the blue's his favourite
43.
colour at the moment, John.
Well, that's the 8th red, and this will be the 8th blue, but this time he's not got a good angle. And he's got to go in and out of balk. And the next red isn't that obvious. There you see the angle. So it's all about line and length here. Whoa, if he kisses these two, this will be perfect.
48.
Is he on the red to the corner? He must be. He's having a look at the potting angle. If it had just drifted by those reds, he'd have been on nothing. He's okay.
$49.
From 5-all, John, the standard has been unbelievable. We've had breaks of 101, 89, 114, 53, 55, 110, 69. Amazing.
Selby, 49.
And just when he was looking good,
Right, settle down, please.
he took his
Settle
eye off
down.
the pot. Was concentrating on the cannon.
Not for the first time this evening. Just when he looks as though he's got the frame under control, he misses unexpectedly. Does this red pass the black into the left corner? It does. He can play for the black.
One.
Now the big question now, when the black goes back on its spot, is it available? Because there's no blue to play for now. But I bet Ronnie never expected this chance. Well, if he's played for this red,
8.
it's through the eye of a needle. The only problem is he'll have to go up for a baulk colour, I feel. I don't think he's got the potting angle on the red to the left corner to play for pink or, well, not the black. The black's doesn't enter the equation. So baulk
9.
colour it was. And when that cue ball starts travelling, it's all about judging the pace. So a good shot needed here. And that's not the shot he needed, only a safety now.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 12.
Well, not quite exactly as played, because he was looking to get that cue ball close to the baulk cushion. And the red he played, he didn't want to go into the side cushion either, but as I say, I think Ronnie will be just pleased to still be in this frame. Mark Selby looked to have it won until he missed that easy blue.
That's always the danger. Has he covered it? Has he got a good cue ball? He might have to swerve around the green because he can't plant the red to the left of the pink onto it. Pink's in the way, so the swerve shot. He'll go towards the black with the cue ball if he pots it. Never easy to judge that type of swerve. Didn't he play it well? Still far from easy though.
3.
Yes, that pot on the yellow was a bit more difficult than it looked, or he made it look, considering he played it left-handed. Now, can he play the run through, cannon the red just to the left of the black? Didn't bother with that. No risk not being on a colour. 33 points behind.
I'm just wondering if the red next to the black is pottable. If the white was somewhere near the pink, would he be able to pot that red? We'll find out very shortly. Well, that is unusual. I just hope he
Ronnie
hasn't
O'Sullivan, 4.
taken a little bit out of the tip of the cue, which you can do when you miss cue like that. Well, at least he can force a little smile about it, but no foul shot because the white jumped and hit the yellow. It looks okay, that. No damage to the tip. The brown and green are a good target here.
Yeah, pretty good shot, but Ronnie can get through to this red on left-hand side. You just got to be careful. He'll be sending it towards the right corner. He doesn't want to kiss the yellow. He could leave it. Played it well, and what a good line, and what a good length. What a good line and length that is.
Well, that was a fantastic response from this crowd, from that very good snooker that Ronnie played.
We keep looking at the audience and you can see the delight on their faces. They're really enjoying this one, and why not? This is snooker at its very best.
And they know the importance of this escape that Mark's going to attempt here. No matter how much you look at it, you just got to rely on a little bit of good fortune. You never know where they're going to finish.
Could have been worse, but he's left the red to the left centre.
That wasn't easy. He only needs the red. There's Mark Selby. He's got one to the left middle. He's debating about whether to play the snooker in behind the yellow, but I think he's got to take the red to the middle. He's going to need a colour off that red that I mentioned. Vicky would like to see the red disappear and the colour disappear.
One.
Wow, a little nudge would have been better. The yellow will do. .34 the difference. So any colour. He feels the brown slightly more easier than the yellow. I think the yellow's a slightly easier pot, but he's still going with the brown. But has he changed his mind? The way he was looking there, it looked as if he was going to play the snooker, but he's surely got to cut the brown in. Playing the pot. He's missed it. He's missed it.
Mark Selby, one.
And he hasn't covered it. I really did think that Mark might have taken the yellow. The blue is the only one that could come to his rescue. The green's not going to be straightforward because of the brown over the pocket.
He's got to play the black off the red to be able to win this frame by 1 point. But to do it at this visit, well, is very, very difficult. But what a chance Mark Selby has missed there. Will he live to regret another frame that he looks certain to win?
8.
There is a path round the back of the black here to leave the green for the left corner. If he can judge the angle, he can swing the white off 2 or 3 cushions. Looks good to me. There's the third cushion coming up.
A little bit further away from the cushion would have been ideal, because he's looking for the angle on the brown to try and disturb the blue, or a worse way, drop behind it. Well, they look happy enough. I suppose they are, just for Ronnie to have a chance in this frame. Twice it has looked all over for the
13.
Selby camp.
Now, is he going to risk leaving a possible double on the blue? I don't know if he's got an angle to get up close to the blue, to leave it up into the right corner pocket. Let's have a look. It's tough when the brown's so close to the pocket to control the cue ball here. This isn't easy. So it's the blue up the cushion.
17.
And this is a tough shot.
Well, he's given himself a good chance. That was a tremendous shot on the brown. Mark Selby can't look. No.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 17.
It was never going to be easy. A pretty straightforward safety shot for Mark here. A little thin one off the blue wouldn't be a bad idea. You've got to keep quite a bit of distance. It looks as if he's trying to get the snooker here.
Well, he took the chance. Ronnie needs to hit it, no problem. Can he get it safe? He can get it safe. Good hit, and I was with you, Dennis. I think he had a rather played thin off the blue and left quite a bit of distance between cue ball and object ball. Mark Selby did have a look at the potting angle on this blue, but surely it's too dangerous to take on.
Well, he's back looking at that angle again, and if he feels it's tough to get it safe, he's going to have a go at it. He definitely looked at the potting angle. Where's the cue ball? It's okay. It was a thin contact. But Ronnie has a chance of getting around behind the black, but it's imperative you keep the blue safe.
And it's this type of long distance shot with side that has been catching him out occasionally. That blue is too close to the corner pocket. How's the cue ball? The cue ball has sneaked past the black. So Mark Selby has a good look at the blue. The blue for the frame and a 9-8 lead.
Be quiet now, please. Let him concentrate.
And he's just got to be a little bit careful and he doesn't get a trace aside on this, otherwise the white will head towards the right middle pocket. The natural shot, won't take it into the middle pocket. If he pots it, and he traces side and he'll head over towards it. Vicky doesn't want to look at the table. You can't blame her. If the blue doesn't pass the pink, he's got away with it. If the blue passes the pink, he can just roll it in.
Well, I've just had a look at Mark Selby's body language. I think this blue passes the pink. It's a tough one, though. It's a tough one, and he's not perfect on the pink. The pink's just as difficult, but nothing to do with the pink. He pots the pink, he's on the black. As Mark Selby thrown away another frame.
The pink's there.
11.